All right, I bet every person in this room today used rubber to get here. Be it in our cars, buses, bikes, or even the soles of our shoes, rubber is ubiquitous for transportation in our society. But it is precisely because of how useful it is that we produce a lot of rubber waste. While a fair amount of that gets ground up into rubber crumb and reused for things like track surfaces or playground mulch, in the US, we still landfill over 1 billion pounds of tires annually. Landfilled tires leach chemicals into our environment, take up precious land space, and can even auto-ignite and burn in intense fires. So the goal of my project is to turn this trash into treasure using chemistry. In the first step of my process, I perform a chemical reaction on waste tire rubber to install nitrogens into the structure. Then, using those nitrogens I installed, along with what was already present in the structure, I perform another chemical reaction, in this case, a deconstruction one, that breaks apart key bonds holding the structure together, allowing it to dissolve into solution. We can even see this dissolution happen visually, where in my top photo, you see a clear solution with brown particles sitting at the bottom, and after just 3 hours of this deconstruction reaction, we see all of those particles are gone, and the solution has become colored. This signals success in breaking apart all of those particles and disintegrating them into solution-soluble molecules. I can then harvest these soluble molecules and use them for high-value materials like epoxy resins. Now, in our everyday life, we might use epoxy resins for hard surfaces for furniture, glue, or even art projects. But because our epoxy resins are sourced from these really unique molecules from breaking apart rubber, they have, well, unique properties. For example, they're more rubbery at room temperature than a typical epoxy resin, while still maintaining comparable strength, meaning they could have high-value applications for things like construction materials. So overall in my project, I set out to turn trash into treasure using chemistry, and I believe I've shown through my 3-step approach of reacting, deconstructing, and reusing, we can indeed turn waste rubber into high-value epoxy resins. Thank you.